Radio journalist Ira Panganiban claims De Lima and CHR board are behind Mocha Uson Petition. Over the past week, a petition circulated around Facebook that called for the shutdown of the infamous Mocha Uson blog, a page that was used to promote President Duterte. Many people do not like it because it is used to spread incomplete and manipulated information. Earlier this morning, Radyo Inquirer 990 AM anchor Ira Panganiban claimed that the 32,000 signatures accumulated from the online petition were all from supporters of Senator Leila De Lima, Ette Rosales, and most of the Commission on Human Rights board members. This petition was started by Paul Quilip through the use of Change.org. Quilip called Uson a Filipino entertainer-turned-Duterte die-hard supporter who uses her Facebook page to spread fictitious and false information about pressing issues in the Philippines. The signatures being gathered is still growing, and the immediate shutdown will contribute to deleting the said Facebook page, which widens the rift between those who support the current administration and those who are critical of it. Many reacted to these claims made by the radio anchor, and did not have a problem with expressing their thoughts. Some agreed, saying, Sila Lngiang May writes, "We are not this messed up and screwed if these hypocrites did their job well." Others were in the defense of the likes of Mocha Uson, saying that she is not violating any law and does not deserve such a petition. Invite you to watch the video. Senator Gordon tells SSS execs, justify your fat paychecks with better service to people. The Senate heard yet another heated session yesterday, as Senator Dick Gordon was not pleased with Social Security Systems (SSS) officials and even dared them to justify their fat paychecks by looking for ways to improve the retirement benefits its 33 million members. Senator Gordon, chair of the Senate Committee on Government Corporations and Public Enterprises, issued the challenge in a hearing conducted jointly with the Committees on Labor, Employment and Human Resources Development, Health and Demography, and Finance. He demanded from the SSS officials that they should be able to defend their $450,000 monthly salary by the kind of service they provide to its members. When you pay somebody well, you expect value for money. We do not mind paying somebody a high salary if the returns are high and members would reap the benefits because the board members are thinking well. They're not doing it just so they can finish but come up with solutions to increase the benefits of the people, he pointed out. Gordon hopes to be the proponent of the P2000 increase in the pension of SSS members by next month, and added that this should be the aim of forced savings by any significant country. He emphasized on giving more and better benefits, stating that the company should be transformational because what I think here is that we're just transactional. Just last month, the president of SSS and CEO Emilio de Quiros, Jr. defended the agency by stating that increasing the monthly pension of retirees might shorten the actuarial life of the state pension fund. He said the monthly contributions of members should be raised if pension hike proposals pass Congress. Congress has taken a 2-week break and will resume on November 7. Invite you to watch the video. Derek Ramsey outraged when another man grabbed his butt. Don't you ever do that again. Derek Ramsey has been experiencing a lot of success over the course of his career, and many people look up to him as a bachelor who has it good with the ladies. With his upcoming movie The Escort, Pep PH had a chance to catch up with the famous actor. Being a movie about the business of paid love, he was asked if he had any experience with indecent proposals from people. Yes, a lot of times. From men, women, and everything in between, answered the 39-year-old actor. He was then asked if he ever took offense in these proposals and answered with, "You know, for me, I don't take offense to it. I just, Siguro I take it not lying as a compliment. At the end of the day, what's important to me is I take my stand and I don't get upset with that person, I just say, I hope you respect I am not that type of guy," answered Ramsey. He told the reporters about how some grown men offered him all sorts of things like cars, paid trips, or shopping sprees, not acknowledging the fact that he comes from a well-off family already. He then told the story of how he got offended that one time one man put the moves on him. "There was one time na offend ako ng hinawakan yung pawat ko. And I grabbed him very hard and I said, don't you ever do that again if you wanna be my friend," he shared. "He's very comfortable with me," he explained, and said that he was close to the person. PH interviewed the actor during a press con of his movie The Escort, in which he stars along with Lovie Poe and Christopher de Leon. The daring film is set to premiere on November 2. Invite you to watch the video. Greco-Belgica slams Duterte haters, calls them hypocrites and ill-informed. Duterte is a genius in negotiations. President Duterte has been the recipient of many awards and has been recognized by a lot for his contributions towards the country's greatness. But he is also not a stranger to criticism and mean remarks, as everything he does is followed by local and international scrutiny. However, one citizen defended the president yet again. Founder of Reform PH movement Greco-Belgica expressed his disappointment with the haters of the President Duterte, and called the bashers hypocrites. Stop being colonial. Not to America, nor to China. We are Filipinos. A country and a sovereign state. I will not be a citizen of any other nation but my own. We are just as good as they are. And we can be better than what we are today. And we must welcome the friendship of anyone who wants to be friends to us with mutual respect and honor due to a human being, he wrote. He slammed others for being ill-informed of the situation with China and the withdrawal of foreign aid from the U.S. He explained that it doesn't mean that the Philippines is now under the umbrella of China, but is just a way of standing on our own, as he put it. Duterte is not only streetwise, he is a genius in negotiations. He is good in foreign policy and understands human psychology better than the bashers and myself, Belgica said. Being the proud Duterte supporter that he is, he wrote about how happy he was for the decision of President Duterte. He also claimed that Filipinos are more Chinese than we are Americans. Bashers are hypocrites. Being independent and separating from the US doesn't mean coming under China. Independence mean being on your own. Haters don't read. Bashers are hypocrites. Nagmamatalino, Lang Sila. Duterte is not only streetwise, he is a genius in negotiations. He is good in foreign policy and understands human psychology better than the bashers and myself. Walang nakagawa ng ginagawa niya, and we are only barely over 100 days. He has tread a new direction for the country our previous leaders did not even dare to take. He saw the opportunity, and seized it to make us who we are today. A place in international society our young heroes only dreamed of. You should try traveling outside the country these days. You will be proud you are Filipino and Duterte. Duterte is admired for his courage and wit and sense of history. The little man of Asia is now the emerging leader of Asia. First, China is no longer communist. They are free. Communism is just a concept they use to hold the country together. A strength in governance, and applying the laws against criminals we ought to do if want to progress as a country by remaining free and to get out of the shackles of communistic ideas. If not for too much politics, we are better off now. The Philippines is more communistic in its policies now than China. He has not thrown down our relationship with the U.S. He put us as equal to any free nation in the world. World War II, Hindi pinasak ang Thailand dahil they were independent. We got into it because we were not. It was not our war. It was a war against the Americans and Japan. Trading with the Chinese is not new to us. They have been here centuries before the Americans came. Overacting, Kaong mga haters, but I give you to your opinion. Go to America and be citizens if you want. We want to be independent and free. Stop being colonial. Not to America, nor to China. We are Filipinos. A country and a sovereign state. I will not be a citizen of any other nation but my own. We are just as good as they are. And we can be better than what we are today. And we must welcome the friendship of anyone who wants to be friends to us with mutual respect and honor due to a human being. Our new relationship with China is different from what we have with the U.S. They are both unique and must be kept as friends. Real friends fight sometimes. But they don't have to stop being friends. If we can be friends to the U.S., why should we be enemies of China? Did not we keep our friendship with the U.S. when they occupied our territories, as well? Not one, but several bases. Why fight China, when you are not fighting the U.S.? Why not be friends with China, when we are friends with the U.S.? When you have more Chinese blood in you than American? When you look and think more Oriental than Western? Then tell me about objectivity and tell me about fairness. Hypocrites. Picture credit to Mindanao Nation. Invite you to watch the video. Trump's for-profit campaign. It's as if Bob Dole began doing ads for Viagra before the 1996 election was over. With less than 2 weeks before Election Day, Donald Trump evidently wants swing voters to know that the Trump National Doral Miami Golf Resort got recognized by Successful Meetings magazine for its renovation, among many other honors and distinctions. This is something genuinely new under the sun. Abraham Lincoln didn't use the 1860 campaign to promote the fine legal representation available through the firm of Lincoln Herndon. Mitt Romney in 2012 didn't try to persuade investors to go with Bain's Capital. Fringe candidates have run in the Republican primaries before to promote themselves and their business interests, typically in book sales and speaker fees. No one has ever gotten so far that he could do it in the general election. The Trump campaign arguably began as a lark to promote his brand, and in its wobbly final month, it has at times reverted to being a lark to promote his brand. There has never been such a yawning mismatch in incentives between a party's nominee and the party itself, with the nominee tending to his ego and his business as the party that is tethered to him holds on for dear life, hoping to preserve some vestiges of power in Washington if he loses. Trump surely would rather win. It would, among other things, be much more psychically gratifying. He talks all the time of how it will all have been a wasted effort if he loses. But let's be honest, it hasn't been that much of an effort. Trump has spent all of 17 months on his presidential campaign, much of it doing highly enjoyable things. He speaks to adoring crowds. He gets interviewed by fawning cable TV hosts. He soaks up more attention than any boy from Queens could ever hope for. It's not as though Trump is at the pinnacle of a long, carefully built political career, so near, yet so far from achieving the ambition of a lifetime. And losing, especially an isolated, one-man against the world loss, serves him just fine. If the reports of Trump's interest in post-election media property are true, he doesn't need a majority of the Republican Party to make a go of it. He doesn't even need most of his supporters. He just needs an inflamed splinter, convinced that he was done in by a rigged system and that he went down fighting in inimitable fist-flying Trump style. This is how he's campaigned over the past month, to the chagrin of all the Republicans whose electoral chances are inevitably caught up in his. But what does Trump care? His investment in the broader Republican Party is nil. He didn't come up within it. His latest bout as a registered Republican, his party registration has gone back and forth, dates from only April 2012. He hasn't spent years endorsing and fighting for Republican candidates or building an extensive grassroots operation and donor network. He likely has no electoral future within the party and shows no sign of wanting to pursue one. He showed up one day and said he wanted to be in charge, and Republican primary voters said, "Okay." No one should be surprised that he has proved wholly self-interested, pursuing stupid vendettas to satisfy his personal sense of honor but put everyone else in the party in an impossible position, and taking precious time out of the final leg of the campaign to promote his properties. From the past couple of days, you'd believe that Hillary Clinton has surrogates and Donald Trump has employees. While Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is wailing on Trump and every Republican Senate candidate remotely associated with him, the CEO of Trump Hotel Collection, Eric Danziger, is singing the praises of the new Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., at a ribbon-cutting attended by the candidate. It is true that almost every politician is, to some extent, selfish and egotistical. But the usual dynamic is that personal ambition naturally aligns with the broader interest of the party. Members of the House and the Senate who covet leadership positions devote energy and resources to promoting their colleagues. Would-be presidential candidates work the rubber chicken circuit, doling out favors to party officials and activists high and low in hopes of getting an advantage in an early caucus or primary state. because Trump's ultimate ambition involves promotion of his brand, he's utterly free from these normal forces. If, say, Ted Cruz were losing to Hillary Clinton right now, in the back of his mind the Texas senator would be building for the next attempt in 4 years, not hedging his bets and promoting other ventures. Republican voters supported Donald Trump in the primaries for many reasons, but one of them was to burn it down, a sentiment directed, in part, at the Republican Party and especially its establishment. If the worst comes to pass and Republicans lose everything in Washington, the presidency, the Senate and the House, Trump will have succeeded brilliantly. The people who care about the party and its traditional ideals will be left to sift through the ashes, while the arsonist will be back up at Trump Tower, looking out, as always, for his bottom line and the main chance. Thank you for watching videos. You remember the likes and comments below. Thanks.